Hello and welcome to the July 10th, 2025 Helm Developer Call. This is a CNCF project and it follows the CNCF guidelines of code of conduct. If you do not want to be recorded, please fall off and you can watch the recording later. But again, mind your P's and Q's. Let's get started. Announcements. I have one, and it is Helm 3.18.4. There is a CVE fix in there that we got out on Tuesday, a day earlier than not, but we wanted to make sure we got that out. I don't quote me on the CVE number fix, Karen. So I do apologize. I don't remember off the top of my head, but 3.18 is out, and that will move us into discussions. And Benoit is not here, but he did have a question, and I think we can answer it. This is for Helm pull request 31041. And it's backporting the CVE fix to 3.17. So I'm going to defer to our core of maintainers here on the thoughts of backporting to 3.17. Put this into the chat for everybody.
What's the severity of the vulnerability?
It was high, sir. It was you can flip the lock file to a symlink and then do malicious things that way. So it was a high vulnerability that Matt has a correct for. There is a pull request to backport it, but we'd have to then do another build and release for it.
Okay. Probably should, but I'm definitely interested in Matt's thoughts as well.
Okay. I know he's on vacation, so I can text him, get his thoughts, and then we'll see. He's camping right now, so he might be able to put his 2 cents in, and then I can upgrade the group if you'd like.
That'd be
Yes,
great.
sir.
Thanks, Robert.
Yes, sir.
I think the latest release is the latest published release in GitHelm.sh. So if you publish a 3.17.5, it won't be considered. Yeah, I think.
Got it.
Something to be mindful of.
Okay. Yeah, I mean we can obviously merge it in, but without building it, then it's kind of all for naught, Yeah. Okay. Carlos, you are on. Carlos, the floor is yours.
I just wanted to know what's up, but I saw Scott closed it, so that's good. That goes on the next V4 release, right?
Yeah, and just for context for everybody else, I'll put the link in our chat. This is for Helm pull request 13.15.4. Bring it up personally so I can see. I don't remember.
Oh, who? We got there.
Nice. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks, George, for all of your comments. I was following it. But you were on it, and thanks, Carlos, for doing that. Yeah, I just did some a bunch of manual testing this morning. I have looked at it several times since I said I would for several weeks, but yeah, finally did the thorough testing that I like to do before merging something.
Hey, I haven't participated much in this, but I remember at last November in KubeCon Salt Lake that I was talking to people about Helmwise, and they were asking, if it could work with hooks. That would be huge, and I imagine this facilitates that, right?
Yes.
Excellent. I'm gonna try to integrate that for next week.
Awesome. It will take a while to propagate into an initial release, because it won't go out until Helm 4, so November.
Exactly.
So I could build my own Helm.
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah.
You definitely can, and take a look at the Helm for development process HIP timeline. Currently, first pre-release is scheduled for next month, and then, as George said, the first full release is scheduled for KubeCon in November.
Yeah, it's just if you make like a blog post saying, hey, you can do this, then it won't be accessible to most people. with that.
Yep. Awesome. All right, as we move on, hit reviews. I last minute add. There is a pull request. It's 402. I'll put the link in here for everyone to see. Austin did this. It's been merged. The code has been merged into Helm, but this would close out the hip for it. So I'm not sure if we can. I've approved it, but I'm not a maintainer on that side of the project. So I'm going to look towards not the Georges, but the Scotts and the Matts and the Andrews of the world to see if we can get that one closed out.
Yeah, I can't help much. I was going to say, since we've got a light agenda, can we also try and get our WASM plugin hip merged, Scott, so that when I finally land this PR, it's got a hip to reference.
Yeah.
I think
We've had-
Robert, you had one comment which I think we answered. I'm not sure if there's been. Let me find
Yeah,
it.
the only question I had, Scott was saying that there's code out there like that he had, so I just asked, where
Yeah,
if it was out there, I'd love to look at it. Like that was my only
exactly.
point me in the right direction so I can see it. That's all.
Two things. I think I already had answered it though, like several times. It's actually there. The examples are actually linked in the hip. And secondly, it would be extremely unusual for a hip to be blocked because the implementation isn't out there. There's actually no precedent for that.
Noted.
Yeah, it's a bit of a chicken egg. I have started writing code for it because I want to.
Sure.
I need to get it done. But yeah, I definitely want the hip to be merged so that when I actually make a formal pull request that we've all we've got like this the record for that we've agreed that this is a good thing to do.
Yep. Understood.
But I definitely let me dig up my pull request. I can send it over. I'll send it in the maintainer Slack. It's just not very ready yet. But we're getting there.
But the WASM stuff is multi backend, right?
It's whatever you can build WASM as, basically. Like if you can compile it to WASM, then
No, I meant wasn't there like I haven't followed it in a while, but there's like XDism and WASM time and various WASM things, and we wanted to make it work with any of those, or how did that?
No, the idea was well, ultimately, yes, in a sense, like we wanted to have like the user facing functions for the SDK to not require a specific runtime.
Right.
That was it. And so we agreed to put it behind it as some kind of interface or some sort of front for that.
Did we do that
Yeah, we're doing that, but to be very clear, the way we've updated this is that there will be different types of, George, correct me if I'm wrong, but different types of I forget the name of it, but essentially plugin drivers or runtimes, or excuse me, sorry, different runtimes. Whereas the current runtime is a subprocess, and the next one will be the XTism WASM, and we're versioning those. So should that pose a problem in the future, another runtime could be added.
Yeah, there's 3 or 4 different concepts here. One is the WASM VM, if you want to call it a VM. For that, for Helm static linking, we're going to use WA0 because it is the de facto WASM runtime for static and go. That doesn't affect how you build your WASM though. If you can build a language into WASM as a WASM P1 So this is the WASM standard. I don't know, so take Java or Go, obviously, or Rust or C or
TypeScript.
sometimes
or-
even Python.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you can build it into WASM bytecode, then you can use this. You can use whatever WASM runtime you can find. There is the WASM standard, which is WASI P1 currently. And then finally, Xism comes into play with the actual bridge between your host code and your WASM code. I mean, sandboxing is useful, but you need a way in and out of sandbox to tell it to take these values and do something with them. So that's where Xism is the shim that sits on top of WASM P1 that just allows you to pass values in and out of the runtime.
That's the WASIs.
So in theory, yeah, you say if an SDK user didn't want to use WA0 for plugins for whatever reason, or Helm didn't itself, and there was another alternative, then we should be able to in the future substitute out the actual WASM runtime. Plugins themselves, they strictly don't have to use Xism, but Xism is a convenience to actually make WASM P1 practical.
How many WASM plugins do we have to test with, or do we have it all? Like,
We don't have
No,
we don't have anything to run them, so
yeah, we have example plugins for many months now that are linked in the HIP. But the
these are out
goal
already.
of-
Those already compiled to WASM.
Yeah.
Okay.
and the goal of this HIP is to introduce new plugin types into Helm, similar to the downloader plugin, which is the only plugin type now, and then all the other plugin types are just basically sub CLI commands. They're like CLI plugin type, but that's just the default. And this HIP introduces more of those so that people can modify other Helm behavior that many people are asking to do in a safe way. We're now able to do some of those things in a safe way because of WASM sandboxing. Whereas before we could have done this without WASM, but we were basically just like executing like any arbitrary executable
Right.
in the current, in the Helm 3 setup with like no safety in place. So that's the reason that, I mean, we could have done it before, but this like makes it more feasible to modify other behavior without Helm users having a risk that someone's gonna, I don't know, delete all the files on their system or do all kinds of weird stuff on their behalf, you know.
I have a lot of
it's a
questions
little
about-
concerning. I was gonna say it's a little concerning. Like we had this security advisory for the symlink, and people are like, "Oh, this is bad." And then we've got this plugin model where people like just download random stuff off the internet, execute it, can do whatever you want on your system. So, from a security mindset, this is a little disjoint.
I'm going to circle back with Scott and George offline and ask questions there. So I have a bunch.
Yeah, and so to
Buddy.
wrap it up, ultimately, George, the reason that we didn't merge that yet, even though it has enough approvals, is it was a courtesy to you because you had open questions. So as long as there aren't any, then we should be good.
Okay.
Or sorry, I meant, if I said George, I meant
Robert.
courtesy to you, Robert. Yes.
Sure.
But I actually had one. Sorry, one more thing to the agenda.
Sure.
I made a very large server-side apply PR. So this is for kubectl to support server-side apply. It's not. I don't think it's as large as what it looks like because a lot of it's just code moving around to support testing. If anybody has to spare a weekend, thank you.
Yeah, it's on my list. It's just
Awesome.
giant. So when you give me giant ones, it takes a while. So
if I could split it up. That my hesitation was I wanted people to have the context of why I was changing this stuff, but I can definitely make smaller PRs if we think it's going to be easier to review.
No. It's just it's a double XL. So
Yep.
I pulled it. It's actually already pulled out on my machine and it's built. I just need to go through all the testing and just do the walkthroughs. So if anybody else wants to jump in with that, Terry or Andrew, by all means, this one's a pretty big one. It's beefy.
I set comments as well to show where like linked to where code has moved to help the review. Yeah, and if we get bogged down, just let me know and I will split it up. Awesome, thanks, Joe.
Yep.
Wait, did we did anyone say they can look at the hip? I just want to make sure I have that reflected in the notes.
Yeah, we're all gonna. I'm gonna go back in there. I have not been back into any hips until this morning. So I've been just busy with the other CBE specs and regression that we were in. So it's on me.
For the one you brought up, weren't you the last one to look at that one?
No, that's not the 402. This is the Scott. What's your number?
Oh no, I'm talking about the 402 though.
Yeah, I brought it up. I just looking for other core maintainers to kind of
Yeah.
close it out. So it needs like an Andrew or a Scott. Okay. All right. Do we have any shout outs?
Thanks, Karen, for organizing KubeCon. And Matt.
No.
Also,
Thanks for submitting it.
Awesome. Thank you, Sharon.
these dates, they come up very fast, and if someone doesn't at least remind me, I forget. Thank you.
I personally have to do
You're
this.
keeping us honest, thankfully. So thank you.
Yes. I get it for this project and for KubeWarden. So social media amplifications. I said earlier that the 3.18.4 went out, but Karen already got those amplifications. So thank you, Karen. I think it was Karen. So I'm so used to just always thanking Karen on that. Anyone else have social media amplifications? Okay. With respect to everyone's time, assignments for next call. Anyone want to be moderator?
Yes, I can do it.
All right. Thank you, sir. Notes for next time. I can if there's no other volunteers.
I can do it. Yes.
Scott, you're doing notes then?
Yes.
Issue triage, Terry and myself put our names in. PR reviews, Terry and myself. Do we have other maintainers?
Yes. Add me,
Yep.
please.
I'll do
Scott.
that. I'm going to try and focus on writing some WASM code, but I'll try and get in there.
Oh,
Understand.
actually, you know what? Please take me off of that. I also need to like really hop on that. We have only a few weeks to finish up the first version of what we're doing for really any features that are added to Helm 4 now, because we didn't say exactly when in August, but the release candidate, the pre-release is scheduled for then. So, and the idea is we need to get that in there at least for the pre-release, because otherwise between pre-release and full release is going to be things like hardening, fixing, trying things out. So anyway, I'm just giving more meat on the bone there.
Yep. If I remember correctly, there is a code freeze. There is a code freeze, I believe, in August for Helm 4.
Yeah.
And then between the code freeze and the release, it's just hardening is what I understood as.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So anyway, that I just wanted to say that out loud too. But for this question you just asked, yeah, please just I will remove myself from the PR review list for this time this week. But you know, if somebody needs another core maintainer to take a look at something, possibly I could just still ping me.
Good. And in core maintainers to be present for next meeting, I have myself down. Mr. Everybody else is coming. The gang's all here.
I will not be here next week, unfortunately.
We will miss you, Mr. Block. Okay. Anyone have anything else, or we can give back a few more minutes?
Just a side comment. I've opened the documentation for the post render. I don't know how that process works, given that the documentation would only go live before it goes live. But if I don't know what the process is, but just feel free to ping me if anything.
Okay. We can do that. All right. No one has anything else, we can end for the day. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it. We'll see you guys next week.
Thanks. Sure.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.